this can make this loom do
This
what
is
a loom
specific
with more
to the rigid head.
harnesses would have. Like
Yes.
you're making it be able to do things that a bigger harness would.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be learning this. I mean,
Well, probably, not for you because I don't think you have a rigid heddle.
I probably
But the crickets,
the crickets,
and the flips and.
yeah, perfect.
They're all considered
Absolutely.
rigid.
Then you can do
Those
it.
are all-
Pickup sticks on your floor looms also to add areas
I'm
of
sure.
interest.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure, but I won't be doing not for a long time. Anyway.
So, yeah, you can
That's pretty cool, though.
put your pickup stick in, or you can put your heddle in the neutral position, bring your pickup stick forward, and there's the shed, okay? And you can see that shed. Let me see.
That's really cool.
And it will make, before you beat it, you bring it back. And I think I'll just go down here and see what happens. But you can tell, you can tell, this was the one that I put it in the neutral position and then raised it up. Okay, so if I'm going to do
So
that
that gives you
again.
the different pattern when you.
It does.
And the stick is always in the back.
There's a bunch more.
Can I just
Let me
look?
have this one. I'll give you one.
Oh, I
at
just
the
wanted
end.
to see what the format looked like. That's all.
Well, I haven't quite got there yet. Here we go.
The stick is always in the back.
Stick is always in the back. Yeah.
The long floats and it's
So by doing this, you can create a lot of different patterns. You can have, with warp floats or weft floats. Weft floats, when you want to do weft floats, you leave this in the neutral position, like I showed you, and then you bring this pickup stick forward, and that's going to give you a weft float. In other words, what that means is the thread that you're putting through is going to be seen more from the top. Okay, like this. Actually, one of those coasters was a weft float, a good example.
Would you mind repeating about weft float?
This one here is you can see the weft float
Oh,
right in
when
through
it
there.
crosses over.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one here is a weft float, so you can see those threads right there are predominant. They come to the surface.
And what gives you that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
When you, the weft float, or maybe I'll just pass these out. I've got about 10 of them or so. This one I want to hang on to.
Yeah.
So, now some of those, the ones in the back, are just patterns because I only made 10. So the weft floats, you leave your heddle in the neutral position, right here, and then you bring your pickup stick forward and turn it on edge. Now if I want to do a warp float, you put your heddle in the up position and you bring your pickup stick forward, but you leave it flat. Okay? And that is going to give you a warp float. Let me do it.
So we have to remember the difference. I mean,
No,
the
it's
instructions don't tell you to put it.
The pattern will dictate.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pattern will
That's
dictate.
what I was.
So you really
curious.
have to
It says
follow
it.
a pattern closely, huh?
Closely.
And once you get proficient, then you can make up your own. Yeah, but follow
I
the
think it'd
patterns
be easier to
first.
make up your own.
But the pattern actually says what you're gonna do. Pick up
Okay.
the stick,
Oh, good.
Yes,
You can look on the back.
yeah. It
Yeah, I
does.
So on these, when you're reading a pattern, and I'm just going to say this right now, when in weaving patterns, a pickup stick means to turn the pickup stick on edge. Okay. And when the pattern says up and pickup stick, you put your heddle in the up position and then bring the pickup stick up and just bring it forward, but keep it flat.
Okay.
Okay. So just general terms. I did include some exercises here. The 3-1 float using the 1 up and down pickup pattern, that's what this is right here that we were doing, because it shows your weft as being predominant. Where's that? This is the 3 up and 3 down here. Okay, so your warp is this here, and your weft is, these here. And that, explains how to do that. So if I want to do a 3-1 float, these are all using the 1 up and 1 down threads in my pickup stick. Okay, so this is a pattern here. We're going to do up, the head means the heddle is up. Down means the heddle is down. And pickup stick means that your heddle is in the neutral position, and you bring your pickup stick forward and set it on an edge. And that's that 3-1 pattern. Okay.
And do you always move the stick back after you're done?
Yeah, because otherwise it'll
Yep.
fall out.
I should do this one.
Yeah. So we've got up, down, and up in the neutral position, and bring it back through.
You've done that like you've done it before.
I haven't worked on this one in a while.
I know, but you're pretty smooth. I found it so clumsy,
I'm
but you're.
You always use a boat shuttle?
I like a boat shuttle. I really do. It just glides. It gives me more control. It glides through instead of, a lot of friction.
And can you use it on a wider piece?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not awkward to get all the way through?
No, then you just
easier.
Give it a
push it
shove.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it fits
Yeah.
right onto the floor.
They don't.
So this is the 3-1 float pattern right here. This is the 3-1 float pattern. And now if I want to do the 3-1 alternating with a plain weave, then that's the next one down. And the pickup stick up. Yeah, and then you polish these with furniture polish, and it flies. So this one is up and pickup stick up. And down. And up. You do get a rhythm going, so it's not as jerky as I'm doing right here.
So you haven't, how many different patterns can you do without changing that stick in the back? Without.
Well, all of these patterns in here,
Oh, yeah.
you could do a whole bunch. Let me do this one more pickup stick here. Okay, so that is the second pattern, and it's very similar, except there's not as many gaps. Right here in the first pattern, you can see some gaps in between, and on the second pattern, it's closer together. But all of these patterns here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and however many are on the back page. 6 are done with the 1 up and 1 down, and there's a whole bunch more, but these are just 6 that I pulled off. Okay. I'm going to do a warp float here. Now this, if you notice on the warp float, the first instruction is you want the heddle down. Second one is up and pick up stick. So that means your heddle is in the up position, and then you slide the stick forward, but you don't turn it on edge. So I'm just going to do a couple of rounds of that. We're going to start out with the down. And that brings through, I don't know if you can see this or not, but what you've got is the 3 threads up and 1 thread down, which is reverse of what we were doing on the other one. This is a warp float, because your warp is going to be showing more. So. I'm just going to do 2 rounds of this so you can see the pattern that comes up. Okay, and you can see by doing that how it changed. Okay, so now your warp is showing more than your weft. Okay, so then you can do combination patterns where you combine both the warp and the weft and come up with, you know, a whole different ball game there. And I'll just run this one through real quick. Let's see. Okay, pickups. Okay, so I'm going to start in the up position. Oh, that was up. I'll just go on into that. Okay, and then second one is bring your pickup stick forward and turn it on edge. And then back up to the up position. You can do about 3 rounds or 4 rounds of up type weaves, but then you've got to have a down weave at some point so that you can
To lock it in?
to lock it in, yeah, because otherwise it'll fall apart on you. Oh, where was I? I forgot where I was. I should have brought my Jane Patrick book so you could all see it, but I think a lot of you have seen it before. But basically, all these stitches that I've done from here all the way up through here, and we started right here at the beginning of the light brown, at the end of the dark brown. And these are all different variations that you can get in a pattern using the 1 up and 1 down. And like I said, these are just very simple ones. And just a few patterns just to play with. So that's my little demonstration.